quiet. Just let's see what this is.
Now, if the class will come to order, please. Now, if the class will come to order, please. Thank you. Last Friday, if you remember, I happened to mention that I wanted to read you 3 letters written by men whose profession was not literature, but who had something sincere to say. Once I declared that harmless intention, the world began to shake, great institutions trembled, and football players descended upon me, and my wife. I realized then that I was doing something important. The men whose letters I picked were Abraham Lincoln, General Sherman, and Bartolomeo Vanzetti. Originally, I chose Vanzetti to show that even broken English can sometimes be very moving and eloquent.
This isn't just about broken English. It's more than that.
Yes, sir, you've made it more than that.
Well, Vanzetti was an anarchist. He was convicted.
Thomas de Quincey was an opium eater. And Edgar Allan Poe was a drunkard, and Karl Marx was a communist. I'm not advocating opium or alcohol or communism or anarchy. And if I were, you'd have a perfect right to remove me. This was supposed to be a class in English composition. And I am saying that I have a right to read any great writings regardless of the personal habits or political opinions of their authors.
And I still say it's a dangerous thing to bring up.
No, sir. It's a dangerous thing to keep down, and if you want to make that political, all right. I'm fighting for a teacher's rights, and a student's rights, and the rights of everybody in this land. You can't suppress ideas, Mr. Keller, just because you don't like them. Nobody can. Not in this country. Not yet. This is not about Vanzetti. It's not a question of whether he was guilty or innocent. It's about us. This is a university. We're teachers, and it's our business to be impartial, to bring what light we can into this muddled world, to try to follow truth. And if I can't read this letter today, if it must be suppressed before you've even heard what it is, tomorrow none of us will be able to read anything or teach anything except what Edward K. Keller and the trustees permit us to teach. And you know where that leads and where it has led in other places. We hold the fortress of free thought and free speech in this place this afternoon. And if we surrender to prejudice and dictation, we're cowards. I have no idea what started all this. I don't know quite how I got into this fight. I'm not a politician. I have nothing personally to gain by reading this letter. And there's little more that I can lose. I only know I have to read it. If I can find it. Oh, yes, here it is. I guess my wife must have put it there. I can only say that I'm afraid this may disappoint many of you. It's not at all inflammatory or seditious. It might even make some of you feel a little silly. At least I hope so. Vanzetti wrote this in April 1927, just after he was condemned to die. It has been printed in newspapers, in this book, in many places. But if you should destroy every printed copy, it would still endure in the language because a great many literary people know it by heart. If it had not been for these things, I might have lived out my life talking at street corners to scorning men. I might have died unmarked, unknown, a failure. Now we are not a failure. Never in our full life could we hope to do so much work for tolerance, for justice, for man's understanding of man, as now we do by accident. Our words, our lives, our pain, nothing. The taking of our lives, the lives of a good shoemaker and a poor fish peddler, all. That last moment belongs to us. That agony is our triumph. Well, that's it. That will be all this afternoon. Class is dismissed.
Fine work, Turner. Now you're out of a job. Now you're gonna starve. Your wife's gonna starve.
Ellen, you wait here. I'll get Tommy away from this mob before he can get himself in any more trouble.
Oh, there won't be any trouble. They're all very much impressed. Didn't you feel that?
They didn't applaud or anything. It was a very ominous silence.
Hey, where is it?
Doesn't sound like cheering.
Tommy won't run away.
I'll handle Tommy. He wouldn't want you mixed up with any mob. Now, you dry your eyes and fix your face. You look terrible.
Do I?
Yeah. I'll be back in a minute.
Hey, some of you guys go around the other way. There's that killer. Come on, we'll after him.
Come on, get in.
Joe, these people are...
Oh, yes, they are. The first thing we can do is to get out of here.
But where's Tommy?
Now, look, everything's going to be all right.
Is it?
I wouldn't worry about that guy.
I don't care what becomes of him.
Now, look here. You're still crazy about that guy, aren't you?
I'm kind of scared of him. He used to be just nice, but now he's wonderful.
Yeah? Oh, I don't think he's so wonderful.
Oh, yes, he is. That letter's wonderful. What he's trying to do is wonderful. When he read that letter, that's when he was the real male animal, not when he punched you on the nose on Saturday.
It's all in the light you give off.
There he is.
I don't care what you do to me, but if you touch one hair of my wife's head...
Tommy!
Right this way, Mrs.
George, what are you doing?
Hey, what do you think you're doing? We've got American flags in the X-line buggy, and he's gonna ride in them.
Not me, I'd rather be mom.
It amounts to very much the same thing, Professor.
Now, don't start fighting again.
Why don't you look up Brenda? We can send her a wire.
Don't worry about me, brother. I sent her a wire this morning.
Come on, boys, let's go.
Put your hat on straight. You look terrible.
Don't give me that. I look wonderful.
Yes, dear, you look wonderful.